Your life, your news. You're watching Fox 24 News at 5:30.
The Texas Bowl between Arkansas and TCU has been canceled. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Allen. Our Pig Trail Nation team was in Houston today when the news broke, and that's where we find our Alyssa Orange now. Alyssa, everyone there has got to be a little disappointed, huh?
Yeah, we're definitely disappointed, Mike. We just drove 9 hours to Houston, excited about covering the Texas Bowl between Arkansas and TCU just to get here and find out it had been canceled. As you mentioned, Arkansas and TCU will not play in the Texas Bowl. It was canceled because of COVID-19 issues in the TCU program. Now, the Texas Bowl committee tried to reach out to another team to see if they could maybe replace the Horned Frogs, but unfortunately, it did not work out. We got here around 12:30, and we're doing interviews outside of NRG Stadium, and then once we were done, we found out the news. It was very shocking to us, just like I'm sure that it was for Hog fans, this team, the staff, the parents, fans who were traveling to Houston for this game. So just unfortunate news that we got here this afternoon. Sam Pittman putting out a statement that says we're very disappointed not to get the opportunity to compete again as a team. We are excited and we wanted to play TCU in the Texas Bowl, but we certainly understand the issues in the TCU program. As I mentioned, some fans just about to head to Houston, and luckily they got to stay in Fayetteville, didn't hop on a plane. There were other fans, unfortunately, not so lucky.
Yeah, listen, you know, Razorback fans travel well, and they travel early, so plenty of people like us on the road to come to this game. Others taking to the sky. Sarah Rogers and her family, they decided to do that. When they got off the plane, they were looking and just seeing all these notifications. Luckily, first plane ride for the kids, so that made up for a lot of the disappointment there.
We were still kind of pumped up because they, you know, had got to fly for the first time, but of course we were sad because that's what we came here for. And they're like, we came here for nothing?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say nothing. Yeah, here's the thing, Alyssa. It's just like we found out ourselves. Looking through social media, it's the 21st century. I know Sam Pittman said yesterday the big tight end Blake Kern doesn't have Twitter. I wonder if anybody's told him that he's not playing.
I'm pretty sure by this point I think that they have. But, yeah, I mean, it traveled fast and it traveled quickly, the news that this was being canceled. Our Mike Irwin back in the Pig Trail Nation studio in Fayetteville. And, Mike, this is just the reality of what we're living in right now.
Yeah, you know, I think most Arkansas fans were really looking forward to this game, and obviously they're disappointed that it's been canceled. But this is a huge blow to the players. They really wanted this game as a jump start into next spring and the 2021 season. You saw that reflected over the last few days in those 6 seniors that announced they're coming back. They were excited. The fans were excited. I cannot imagine what it was like to work the way the players did over the last 2 weeks, and then they could have just gone home for Christmas and New Year's like a lot of teams did. All I can say is this team deserved better. They played the toughest schedule in the country. They lost one game on a bad call by the refs. They lost another one when COVID sidelined almost their entire D-line. Felipe Franks missed the Missouri game with an injury. Grant Morgan was lost in the third quarter of that game, and now no bowl game because the opponent can't play. This football program is due some breaks. It has certainly used up its share of bad breaks.
Yeah, hopefully it's better in 2021. And, Mike, we were hoping to have a bowl game win heading into 2021, but we're just going to have to wait for football in about a year or so. For Andrew Epperson, I'm Alyssa Orange outside of NRG Stadium in Houston. Mike, back to you.
All right, Andrew, Alyssa, and Mike, thank you for that report. More grim news, coronavirus related. Arkansas hits another new record for COVID-19 deaths. 66 new deaths have been reported now. That's the single highest increase in a 24-hour period. That makes our state death toll just above 3,600 overall. 2,700 more people have tested positive for the virus in that 24-hour span, and there are now 21,000 active cases in the state. More than 1,100 people are hospitalized for the virus tonight. Meanwhile, the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine has arrived at long-term care facilities in Arkansas. And for some families, giving consent for their loved ones to get the vaccine might be a tough choice. Our Jesse Pierre talked with the Department of Health about what elderly people need to know before they get the vaccine.
State leaders say that older adults have really suffered from COVID-19. This is why nursing home and long-term care facilities are top priorities in getting those vaccinations. Dr. Jennifer Dillahay with the ADH tells me studies show that the elderly had really good responses to the vaccine. It is safe and will offer them some layers of protection from the virus. Everyone who takes the vaccine should read the fact sheet about the Moderna vaccine. It's a few pages long and breaks down the benefits and risk of taking it. There are a few things you should let your provider know, like if you have any allergies, a fever, bleeding disorder, or are immunocompromised.
They should be aware, though, that people who have weakened immune systems may not develop as a robust protective immunity from the vaccine, but likely some vaccine is going to be better than no vaccine for these folks.
Dr. Dillahay says before receiving the vaccine, you should answer all of these questions through a health screening with your provider. The Moderna vaccine requires 2 doses about a month apart. After you get the first dose, you'll get a vaccination card for you to return to your second appointment. Dr. Dillahay says it's important that people make informed decisions about taking the vaccine. In Fayetteville, Jesse Pierre, Fox 24 News.
All right, thank you, Jesse. And in local news tonight, one organization's making sure families who are struggling during the pandemic can stay in their homes. Thrivent and Habitat for Humanity of Benton County are partnering with families to contribute $5,000 that'll provide mortgage relief to homeowners who might need help. Director of Operations for Habitat for Humanity, Cynthia Driggs, says that money was a lifesaver for some.
So I think the ones that have, let us know that they're having issues, this money will be great to help them get caught up.
If you'd like to make a donation to help families, head to our website, fox24news.tv. Well, plenty of people are in need in the midst of this pandemic, but what happens when nonprofits that need help, or rather help people, are in need of help themselves? We're going to find out in a few minutes, but first we'll get over to Rick Catsby. He's got a check of our weather tonight.
Hey, Mike.
And Rick, we are expecting lots of rain this week, aren't we?
Yeah, we start the rainy period. We started it this morning, very light stuff. Heavier stuff comes in later tonight, and then even heavier comes as we go into Thursday night and into Friday. So we'll kind of settle it all out for you, give you the detailed forecast. It's all coming up next.
You're watching Fox 24 News at 5:30 with Mike Howland, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott, and your Big Trail Nation report with Alyssa Orange. Closed captioning sponsored by Downstream Casino Resort.
Tonight on News Nation, the troubled Boeing 737 MAX aircraft returns to the skies. We'll talk with an airline expert and passenger. Plus,
I heard people screaming at the pool area.
What one hotel employee did to save a child and how she's being honored for her actions. Tonight on News Nation, starting 8/7 Central on WGN America.
Caitlin Zollner has the answers. Wednesdays on Fox 24 News at 7.
It's the biggest holiday week of the year to buy, and the Super 7 holiday sale is on now at Fayetteville Auto Park. That's 7 big days to save on 4 great brands with over 1,000 in stock, all at one location, Fayetteville Auto Park. For the next 7 days only, our lowest prices of the year on everything during the Super 7 holiday sale at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville, FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
With Kubota quality and Gray Brothers end-of-the-year pricing, it's time for a new Kubota cab tractor coupled with a 15-foot rotary cutter to make acres of cleaning up a cinch. Or with the Kubota SBO compact track loader, clear the mess with ease. Also, check out one of these Kubota RTVX series with full independent suspension and get 0% financing for 48 months. Plus, all Kubota tractors with cab are at huge clearance prices. Buy a new Kubota today with incredible deals going on right now at Gray Brothers Equipment.
At Pigtails and Crickets, we love our customers.
We'd like to thank everyone for supporting our local business for the last 10 years and trusting our experienced and tenured staff with your child's grooming.
Come in today for the best haircut and gifts galore.
Your Weather Authority forecast with meteorologist Rick Catsby.
Well, you know what? We had a beautiful sunset here a little while ago. It's down, but you can see that we got the clear skies out here for a while this evening. Just for a while, though, we're going to increase the clouds again. More rain is on the way. Again, this will happen after midnight. What's coming in tonight is going to be more substantial than what we had this morning. Just a little bit of rainfall gave us pretty much just trace amounts of rainfall from this morning. Heavier coming tonight and then even heavier coming into Thursday into Friday. We'll show you that coming up. All right, so here's what we got going on. 52 degrees right now in Bentonville, 49 Fayetteville, 43 in Fort Smith. Notice how the temperatures have kind of flip-flopped. They're cooler in the valley, warmer here on the Ozark Plateau. 61 right now, McAllister. 68 in Dallas. So this is where the warm front and warm air are located. This is a lot of juicy Gulf air that's moving in our direction. There's also a cold front sliding across central parts of Oklahoma. Right now, just a couple little sprinkles out there east of I-44, east of Tulsa. There's the widespread rain from northwest Oklahoma back in eastern parts of Kansas. That will align itself with the cold front, and that cold front will come in as we go into late tonight and tomorrow. It'll be with us tomorrow morning, so it's going to be a rainy start to your Wednesday morning. It'll probably move in here sometime after, say, 2 o'clock in the morning. It does show the potential for some drizzle developing early for late tonight. Then there's that cold front coming in. Now watch this as we put it in motion for you. Here comes the rain. Rain widespread through the morning hours. Notice a little icing situation potentially along Interstate 44. I think it's a slight chance, but we're going to monitor that. That will stay west of us. We will stay on the warmer side with temperatures sliding from the 50s in the morning to the 40s and even 30s coming by late afternoon. Notice here it's raining at 7 o'clock. Cold front will be biased by then. But now watch this. We will get a break. There's a break coming. So the rain kind of falls apart, leaving us with cloudy skies through the rest of the afternoon. So we get some rainy morning, and then we get some cloud cover during the afternoon hours. And then as we go through tomorrow night into Thursday, here comes this rain starting to back in. Notice by Thursday morning, this particular model shows it way off to the south. I'm thinking the River Valley area will keep some rain at least near Fort Smith. Then it works back toward us. As it does so, high elevations could maintain temperatures at or just below freezing. So there's some potential there for maybe a little early morning freezing rain on Thursday morning, but I think that's right now a slim potential. We'll monitor that. Tomorrow morning, rain is likely. High temperature will reach 51 in the morning, then drop to 35 by afternoon, colder afternoon. 40 your high temperature on Thursday after temperatures dropping below freezing. Rain becomes more likely late Thursday into Friday morning. Then the whole system works its way out of the way. Looks like New Year's Eve plans will be wet. Rainy conditions are expected through the nighttime hours, and then it will finally taper off sometime in the, about noontime on Friday. So, Mike, there is some improvement coming, but we're going to have to wait really till Sunday before we see that improvement, with temperatures getting close to 50 by then. Fitting, maybe, that we have to wait until 2021 for the weather to clear up? Maybe a theme? I suppose. Yeah. It's kind of a little metaphor there. All right. Well, Rick, thank you so much for that. Good to look forward to the weekend. Well, the pandemic has put some local nonprofits in need of help. We'll hear from a couple of them after the break. And be sure to find, like, and follow us. We're all over social media, tracking stories throughout the day. To find us, search for Fox 24.
Aisle Heating and Cooling. Depend on us.
Hank's end of the year sale of the year.
Chenille rocker recliners, $199.
Power recline sofas, $7.99.
Reclining sectionals, $14.99.
Right now at Hank's Fine Furniture.
We're going to find the perfect treat.
We're going skating. We're going to Nana's.
Wherever you go this holiday, Chevy can help you get there.
Which is why we're making our Chevy employee discount available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more. So wherever you go, happy holidays from Chevy.
Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to get over $6,800 below MSRP on this Equinox.
Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
Mommy, guess what? We win.
Ay, that's fake, mi amor. Ice cream?
Yeah!
Okay. Protect your connected devices with advanced security included with Cox Panoramic Wi-Fi.
Treat yourself to a trip like no other at Saffron Indian Cuisine Bar and Grill. Here you will find authentic Indian dishes, fragrant with rich spices and service that is warm and friendly. All our food is made in-house, from freshly baked naan to enticing biryanis. Our menu has something to offer for everyone, whether you eat meat, are vegetarian, or even vegan. All safety precautions are taken to keep both you and our staff protected. For your one-of-a-kind dining experience, come to Saffron Indian Cuisine Bar and Grill in Fayetteville.
Hank's end of the year sale of the year.
Chenille Rocker Recliners, $199.
Power recline sofas, $7.99.
Reclining sectionals, $14.99.
Right now at Haynes Fine Furniture.
Your life, your news. You're watching Fox 24 News.
Well, it's the season of giving, but this year, some who normally give are instead the ones who are in need. As Chelsea Helms with our sister station, NWA, explains, a local nonprofit that answers the call of those in crisis is struggling itself now because of the pandemic, while another is getting by thanks to big community support.
Organizations that typically support others are now in need of their own support financially as this health-turned economic crisis continues. At the Arkansas Crisis Center based in Springdale,
the money has really dried up since March.
But calls for help are still coming in.
We're over 110% up from last year.
Executive Director Rebecca Brubaker says her team has already spoken with 2,000 more people this year than it had at this time in 2019. Someone who answers these calls, Ilea Markham.
Arkansas Crisis Center.
Among those on the other line, people feeling the pain of the pandemic.
You have a lot of calls where people are just feeling that isolation and they're just really feeling alone.
Even as call volumes dramatically increase, funding for the nonprofit hasn't.
Money that we expected to come in, but everyone's holding a little tighter to their extra funds and not making those donations like they have in the past.
Brubaker says the Arkansas Crisis Center will end the year down about $80,000 in donations.
When those funds are not coming in as expected, we're struggling to meet the bills and the expenses and the salaries.
Without dipping into operating reserves, phones at the Arkansas Crisis Center might have gone off the hook for good. The Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter also seeing more people reaching out for help.
We have had the extra expenditures, but I am really happy to say that if we weren't able to shelter someone or provide the services they need, we have been able to connect them with one of our community partners who has been able to take care of them.
But Development Director Stacy Seeger says donations have remained steady, as has the shelter's mission.
We are here. And we're not giving up, we're not stopping, we're continuing to provide services, to provide safe shelter and counseling and advocacy. And it's because of the generosity of Northwest Arkansas that we're able to do that.
These local nonprofits adjusting their operations in a time of crisis.
We're going to keep plugging on and we're going to make it through this.
To continue answering the calls of those who are struggling the most. If you'd like to support the efforts of the Arkansas Crisis Center or the Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter, which supports women, men, and children, you can head right now to our website, fox24news.tv. In studio, Chelsea Helms, Fox 24 News.
All right, Chelsea, thank you. Alyssa Orange joins us now live from Houston. She's got a look at what's next. Oh, actually, it looks like we're going to go to her after the break. We did not want to see that the Texas Bowl was canceled, but it was, and she has got all the details, the latest for us. Up next, Big Trail Nation.
Aisle Heating and Cooling. Depend on us.
I think for us, home is like the place you always want to be at. It's your safe place. It's your place that you can be yourself. Being able to know our family will be able to come here, visit our baby, and spend some time together, I think it's going to be wonderful.
Guys, my Uber broke down, but it's okay. It's New Year's Eve night, and I will not let our table get taken. I'll be there in a jiffy.
I'll meet you guys at table 13.
Excuse me. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotta go.
This New Year's Eve, grab your friends and don't miss the largest party around at Downstream Casino Resort. Win your share of over $75,000 in cash that night at Downstream Casino Resort.
Get an internet experience that puts you at the center. Cox Internet, starting at just $19.99 a month for up to 10 megs. Upgrade to Gigablast, and you'll never need to slow down. Connect to Panoramic Wi-Fi Advanced Security to protect your devices. Plus, you can pause your Wi-Fi for family time. Get internet that's all about you. Cox Internet, starting at just $19.99 a month for up to 10 megs. Call or click today.
Okay, so this gal comes in. She's in tears when she walked in the door. She tells me, I've got a trip coming up. I'm going to Turkey. I'm going to be walking and walking and walking, and I can't walk. And I don't know what to do, so help me. And I helped her. She called me a couple of weeks ago. She had the time of her life, virtually pain-free, and I had saved her life in her mind.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The staff of Bronson Abstract Company wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a joyous New Year's. May all be safe and well in the days ahead.
Now, from Fayetteville, high on the hill, this is your Pig Trail Nation Report, sponsored by Crane Automotive Team.
Well, hey there, Alyssa Orange coming to you from Houston, Texas, outside of NRG Stadium, where disappointing news coming this afternoon around really 1:15 that the Texas Bowl between Arkansas and TCU was going to get canceled. We were here at 12:30. We're doing some interviews outside the stadium, and we didn't find out until afterwards when we looked on our phones, like many Hog fans did, to find out that this news was happening. Now, this game getting canceled because of COVID-19 issues with TCU, and the Texas Bowl said that they tried to fill a team real fast, but unfortunately that turnaround just was not going to work out. So there will not be football from Houston, Texas on New Year's Eve. The team about to load on the buses. They were going to have a send-off in Fayetteville. That did not happen either. The buses had to leave empty. Just a really disappointing day, and news that even though you shouldn't be shocked about, you are shocked about. And Mike Irwin joining us. And Mike, unfortunately, it's just the reality we live in right now in 2020.
You know, a lot of bowl games have been canceled. This whole business of could a team played, could they have not played, what was the deal, that'll all remain a mystery. What we do know is that Arkansas played LSU with really low numbers, lost a close game. When asked if he ever considered postponing the game, Sam Pittman said, the standard is if you have 53 available players, you can play. Arkansas had just above that number, so playing was the right thing to do. Bowl appearances were especially problematic. There's no question in my mind that some teams passed on playing in a bowl when they could have played. So far, 19 bowl games have been canceled. Only 10 are played. Those numbers are over the top compared to what happened in the regular season. I'm not saying TCU did that, because they did go through several days of prep when they could have just said, we'll pass from the start. But Arkansas's players were really up for this game, and this is a big downer for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is absolutely, Mike. Definitely disappointing against the Texas Bowl not happening. But I guess good news is that men's basketball about to start SEC play. As our Tara Talmadge joining us back in studio to take a look at the Hog Hoops team. Tara.
Yeah, I know we've been talking a lot of football today, but we've got some big news for basketball as well. Arkansas is getting their head coach back for their first conference game of the season. Eric Musselman forced to quarantine recently due to contact tracing, having to miss the Razorbacks game against Abilene Christian. Now, the Hogs still pulled out the win, though, but now they head to Auburn for their first conference game of the season and their first road test as well.
Was able last night about 8:20 is when, the results got back, and, I'm happy to be back and rejoining the team, and I'm ready to coach, that's all. I mean, I just want to get back with our guys.
It feels good to have the head honcho, Coach Musselman, baby, because we need his energy, we need his coaching, we need everything, because without him, we nothing, and he bring everybody together.
Arkansas and Auburn tip off on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. So, you know what? At least we all have that to look forward to this week.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, Tara and Alyssa and Mike, for that report. Meteorologist Rick Katzby is going to join us with a final look at our forecast when we come back. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching Fox 24.
The frigid terrain of an untouched winter. Underneath this blanket of snow, a mystery awaits to be... Whoa! The Acura Season of Performance event is on now. Don't miss it.
Visit Acura of Fayetteville for attractive offers on the MDX.
Downtown Kitchen and Tap House, your perfect neighborhood pub with delicious beer and a full-service, family-friendly restaurant.
Joe here with Sam's Furniture, and we know that this year has produced some trying times for everyone. We feel it as well. Factory shutdowns, supply chain slowing. But as Arkansas's largest, manufacturers are working hard to keep our product at the front of the line. We are receiving trucks daily, and Sam's still carries the largest in-stock inventory of furniture anywhere in Arkansas. So if you want a great selection and lowest prices, if you want your money to go farther and enjoy it tonight, shop Arkansas's largest furniture destination. Get it at Sam's.
New Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are engineered for extreme weather performance. With advanced Quad-Tech 4-layer coated silicone that lasts 2 times longer than other blades and endures everything you put them through. Only at Walmart.
With Kubota quality and Gray Brothers end-of-the-year pricing, it's time for a new Kubota cab tractor coupled with a 15-foot rotary cutter to make acres of cleaning up a cinch. Or with the Kubota SBO compact track loader, clear the mess with ease. Also, check out one of these Kubota RTVX series with full independent suspension and get 0% financing for 48 months. Plus, all Kubota tractors with cab are at huge clearance prices. Buy a new Kubota today with incredible deals going on right now at Gray Brothers Equipment.
You know what feet can do? Everything. They can walk, run fast, stop, work, or work. Because feet are awesome. With the right support, they can do anything. Dr. Scholl's. We heart feet.
All right, Rick Catsby joins us now with the final check of our forecast. Rick, we got some rain on the way.
Yeah, widespread rain coming late tonight, Mike. Forecast for the next several days shows high chances for rain coming tomorrow into Thursday and also into Friday morning with temperatures mainly in the 40s.
All right, Rick, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That's all our time for now. We'll have more Fox 24 News tonight at 9. See you then.
At Honda, we take the holidays seriously. With serious style and serious capability. So while others may be decking the halls, you could be dashing through the snow with the best value of the season. Now's the best time to get into a new Honda. KBB.com's best value brand for 2020. Visit Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer or shop online to get a great offer on the CR-V.
I have something for you.
I have something for you, too.
It's the GMC season to upgrade. Now everyone can get GM employee pricing on most GMC models. Use it to get over $10,000 total value on this 2021 Sierra Denali. We are professional grade. GMC.
The holidays are a time for giving.
To your friends, your family,
to your teachers.
In that spirit of giving,
Chevy's proud to give our employee discount to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay
is what we pay. Not a cent more.
Because giving and giving back is what the holidays are all about.
Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to get a total value of over $8,400 on this Silverado.
Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
Every new smile starts at Aspen Dental with custom-crafted dentures made in our on-site labs and ready in as little as a day. We give you unparalleled safety at every visit, natural-looking results you'll love, and options for every budget. Now, during our Everyday Smiles event, get new dentures for as low as $29 per month per arch with 60 months financing. Find every reason to smile every day at Aspen Dental. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL or book today at aspendental.com.
Injured? Let's talk about big insurance. Don't be fooled. Insurance is $1 trillion industry. And you know how they make money. The less they pay, the more they keep. So don't get pushed around by the insurance company. Get Rainwater, Holt & Sexton on your side. We fight big insurance for the injured people of Arkansas. Let us help you weather the storm. Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888.
Took down the tree. That means it's time to put 2020 in the rear view and get to the final days of the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. It's your last chance for our best offers of the season across the Ford lineup. So hurry in today. The Ford Built for the Holidays sales event ends soon. Now get $2,000 in total cash plus $1,000 trade assist cash on top of what your eligible trade is worth on Ford Ranger.
So you see, what you're eating is not technically yogurt because it doesn't